We look at our pricing when we are at our RPA. I know you guys get bored, those of you who are here every week. You get bored listening about how you write your RPA, but we're really careful how we do that these days, right? We check the boxes of the stuff we want. Doesn't matter, you write in $1,000. If you don't check those boxes, it means you're ordering basic only, right? So we're writing our RPA very carefully. What's that little phrase that we can use if you don't know the coverage you want when you're writing that offer and it's a condo and there are 5 other offers following you up? What's that little phrase you can use so you don't have to be so particular on what you check on those boxes? Anybody remember? Yes. Thank you. Buyer select options. Very, very easy. Then it forces the conversation between escrow and the agents, right? I love that little phrase, buyer to select options. More and more people are doing that so you're not stuck, okay? So, items of value today. We're all big about items of value, right? Yes, I know I am. So, we got little things. So if you're getting ready for next quarter, these door hangers are wonderful. If you do anything like this, please call me. We can get you any quantity of these door hangers if you want to pass them out. How much are they?
Free.
Free. There are little slots here. You can put your business card. This is kind of interesting. Show and sell. It's a little piece that talks about how to get your house ready for sale. I have people who door knock with this. Just a nice little piece, especially if you have a listing and they're not cleaning it up. And they like lists, well, it's all right here. So feel free. How much are these?
Free.
And these are probably the most popular, these little bags. They come out of the box not wrinkled up like this. Sorry, this was in my hand. But you can stick anything you want to in this. I had people who did these for Halloween. If you have open houses coming up, some kind of trade fair, something like that.
Doggy park.
Doggy park? Thank you, Dave. But yes, we do have these, and that's what you must do. These are free too, so keep that in mind. Also, if you want to write this down, Home Care Buzz. This is something you guys might get via email from me also, once a month. You can take these articles, though, and put this in a newsletter. So homecarebuzz.com. So keep your eyes open for that, too. Also, huge item of value. Did you know that when your client their contract gets ready to expire at the end of the year, they will get a renewal notice from First American. It will probably give them a heart attack. So if you want to save them from that, please have them call me because they know they have access to our Friends and Family program. It will save them at least $100 on that renewal rate. Okay, so that's huge. So what would you do as an agent? Write in your little calendar about 10 months in, because that's when they're starting to get the renewals. Write a little note in your calendar to call them. Gives you a reason to call them and say, hey, listen, I know you're getting that renewal from First American. If you would like a reduced rate, then please call my rep because of me. You as the agents, they have access to that. Okay, so please keep that in mind. Also, another item of value, seller's coverage. Anybody use seller's coverage? Really kind of cool. Basic, air in the upgrade is available to your seller during the listing and the escrow period. Something comes up on the inspection report. They have a water heater that blows. Something that's home warranty related. They can place a claim. It works just like the buyer's coverage. Couple of exceptions, $1,000 limit on air conditioning for the seller, $500 for the heater for the buyer, but that's a whole lot more money than they would have had. And if you have that first class upgrade, we always talk about that. We take the benefits from that first class upgrade and add that on to the $1,000, okay? So they actually get quite a bit of money under seller's coverage if something happens, all right? So that's huge. If you can get a listing that way, they don't have to know how inexpensive it is. Anybody remember how much it is? For basic air and the upgrade for a single family home, like $1.26 a day. I mean, you do the math, it's like $35 a month. Really, really a good benefit. So don't forget seller's coverage. If you can get a listing that way, again, please feel free to use it. The biggest benefit is you have me as a rep. And I've been with First American 25 years. I've been in the home warranty industry 30. So know what I'm doing. Get involved. I don't stand on the sideline. We get involved if your client has a problem. If they have an issue scheduling a tech, whatever the case may be, you call me. And I'm there. And we fix the problem and we make you look like a hero at the end of the day. So that's the goal. Thank you, all of you. Thank you for your time this morning. And appreciate all of you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karen. Thank you for breakfast. We really appreciate that. You bet.
And, just one other thing. For the birthdays, there is pumpkin spice back there. I hear that's really, really popular. Thank you.
Sounds good. After last night.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and bring up Homebridge Financial Services. Is that a new picture? I think that looks nice.
No.
Hey Judy, hey Scott.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Don't trip.
Don't trip. Good morning.
Good
Good morning, everybody.
You can pick that up there, guys.
Feel like the first 5 innings of the Dodger game last night. Hello, everybody.
Hey, everybody. Go Dodgers, go.
Everybody out.
Hello.
Okay, jumping
Go
jacks.
Dodgers, go.
Everybody up, on their feet.
We have blue blood in our veins today, guys. Come on.
We're a Texas-based company.
But we're in Southern California, baby. So, first and foremost, yes, it's here for the Dodgers, Game 7 tonight. But also, I want to thank everybody that came to the lending class last week. It was really a great class. And, as much as we try to give you, we get a lot back from you guys that come to the class also, as far as material and what you guys want. And we really got a lot of feedback at this last class. And Judy and I really have a great class plan for the next time we're on the calendar. So we'll continue to keep you posted as to when that's going to be. But we really learned a lot from you guys, and we really appreciate it. And we really want to put this out there. If there's something you guys want to learn, if there's something you guys want to know, if you want a class on something, let us know, and we're happy to do it and put it together for you. So thank you all for being there. You're up, Bill.
You're fast. So, my little flyers. The one that we're handing out today is, and you use it in conjunction with the open house one that we've given, the buy versus rent that we've given, and this one is enlightening in that we did 2 of them. So there are 2 there, and they're different figures. That's why there's 2. One is for $500,000, one is for $600,000, and we just did a breakdown. If you did a 3.5% down, of conventional 5%, 10%, 20% down, it gives you what the payment's going to be with taxes, if there's PMI, all that included, and it gives you what they need in terms of dollars for the down payment and the closing cost. And I've had agents use this just right out the gate when they're working with somebody. They'll go, can you get me one of those and give me the figures? Because I want them to see what their payment's going to be, how much cash they're going to need with different scenarios. And a little success story that we want to talk about, that we had an agent that used all of these on an open house. They used this one, they used the open house flyer that we did, and then they used the buyer versus rent, because they were in a, low 600 range open house. Buyer came in, not working with an agent at all, had no relationship with a real estate agent, took all the flyers that they had, all the information, called that agent back later that night and said, we want to work with you. And so, they started the dialogue, and through the course of the dialogue, the agent asked, what made you pick me versus, probably every open house that you went? It was the information that they got at that open house. They felt they were informed, that agent had a lot of good material to give them. They were a millennial buyer, saw a lot of stuff on the internet, but it sort of solidified, what was going on in the transaction with all the data that they have. So, point being, use us. We have all this information for you guys. Takes us minutes to prepare these for you. As long as we get a call by Friday, we said
Thursday preferably.
Thursday preferably, but even on a
If you're
Friday,
gonna
if you're
shoot
gonna do
an
an open
open
house,
house,
call us and give us the info. We'll print these out for you. So just extra things, and these just have our pictures on it, but we co-brand them. It'll have yours on there as well. So we just did this because, there's no agent on here, but this little, where it says the Homebridge, logo there, that'll have you on there. So it has all your information, your cell, your data, everything. So use it, guys. So with that,
That's
got
it.
anything else?
Nope.
Awesome. Nothing else? Okay.
Yes, Mr. Lieberman.
One quick question, on the FHA, why such a big spread between the rate and the APR? Is that a teaser rate or something?
No, because you have the MIP, so technically the 1 3/4 MIP is a
Yeah.
cost.
You're rolling
Even
it.
though it rolls into the loan amount,
Got it.
but it's considered a cost, that's why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know, looks huge, doesn't it?
Yeah. But it's
I
not.
hate that one, but yeah, you gotta do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so use us on these, please call us. All
All
right?
right,
Thank
thanks so
you.
much, you guys, I
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
I just said no.
Thank you.
All right, new agents, who do we have? Who do we have? Is Teresa here?
She's not here yet. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So
We'll bring her up
we
later.
can come
then.
back.
Special. Is Michelle here?
She is her little wife.
Michelle, come on up. Quickly though, quickly. Not gonna take- This is the,
Oh,
yeah,
oh.
yeah.
Yeah,
okay.
we do. They won't hear
Okay.
you.
It's gonna make one of those
This is
loud
your chance
noises.
just to introduce yourself, tell everybody who you are, where you come from. all
Okay,
that
good
fun
morning.
stuff. Good
I'm
morning.
Michelle Sievers, and I'm really excited to join this team of rock and roll real estate professionals. I have a pretty extensive business background, both in large corporate environments and smaller entrepreneurial ones. So I'm ready to get started. And I have to just reiterate someone's comment earlier, go Dodgers.
Yeah.
So you're new to real estate then?
I am brand new. to real
And how
estate.
did you come to this office then?
You know, I was referred to a couple of companies in the Conejo Valley. I was told that there was a few that were better than others, especially at training. And so I interviewed at a couple companies, and I met Terry, and I was very impressed with what you guys have to offer, and that's how I picked.
That's awesome. Do you have any animals?
I have 3 dogs, 3 fur babies.
What's the names?
Jasmine, Jet, and Ryder.
What type of dogs are they?
2 labs. Ryder is a guide dog reject, and Jet is a Springer Spaniel.
There's a lot of us guide dogs that found us and later on rejects and we got into real estate.
I'll let him know that.
Yeah, well, welcome aboard.
Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Thanks, Michelle.
Okay, who's next? Nathaniel. Another high school graduate.
How are you?
Where'd you get these young guys?
Fresh out of high school, 34. But yeah, so I grew up on the East Coast. I grew up in Connecticut. Went to school in Boston. I lived in Colorado for a while. My wife has some family out here. She was raised out here. So we've been out here for about 2 years or so. Well, gosh, 3 years now. I am a pharmacist by training. I've been a pharmacist for the last 8 years. So transitioning over to real estate, first time as an agent. I've been in real estate for about 5 years or so on my own, just kind of investing mostly in multifamily and stuff. So yeah, excited to get started really.
When you look out, do you recognize any of your Xanax patients out there?
50%, I would say, good solid 50% probably based on the numbers, yeah.
So that's a weird thing from pharmacy to real estate.
Yeah, I mean, it's allowed me to do a lot of things that I want to do, but I found out about 5, little over, that I was really passionate about real estate. My buddy got me into it actually, kind of investing together and stuff, and started getting into it, and I really enjoy it. I really like the construction side of it as well, remodeling. Just enjoy it. I've done a lot of it personally myself. But yeah, it's just very passionate about it, and I have the opportunity to get into something I enjoy. So.
How'd you come to this office then?
In Colorado, I met Steve Pilkington, who has his own team out there, and he's referred me to Keller. I did a couple different interviews with a couple different companies, but I'm really excited about the training because while I'm passionate about it, there's quite a bit I need to learn and stuff. So I found that in talking to him, this is a really good opportunity to get a really good foundation, which is I think going to be important. So
awesome.
yeah, everyone I've met's been awesome, so it's great.
It's an amazing array of professionals that we have here: attorneys, ex-fire captains, pharmacists. It's pretty impressive. So, welcome aboard.
Yeah, thank you.
What school did you go to in Boston? What school did you go to in Boston?
Northeastern.
Northeastern.
Yeah.
Let's go
Pat's
back
fan.
to Teresa.
Teresa,
We'll go back to Teresa.
you're up.
The coming in late didn't matter. Still got you.
I'm sorry, I had to drop off my little 6-month-old puppy to get spayed, so I was coming from Oxnard.
What type of dog?
She's a little Malchi, a mix of Maltese and Shih Tzu. She's like this.
And what do you call the Malchi?
She's a Malchi, yeah. I got her at Puppy Heaven over there in Agora. We got great puppies. But anyway, I'm Teresa Cavaligos. I just moved here in August from Chicago. I've been in real estate for 22 years, so I am a seasoned agent. I've been working for RE/MAX for 14 years, and prior to that, Coldwell Banker. So I did all the corporate thing and then the individual thing. Have fabulous past clients, left a huge database back home to one of my friends. I decided to come here to make a change because after 22 years being in real estate, you do kind of get stale and bored, and you start selling all these boxes there.
That happened in your 22nd year?
My 22nd year.
I've got 3 more.
Plus, being in Chicago, you get tired of the weather.
Uh-huh.
And as I'm getting older, I just don't care to be inside all the time. I'm an avid tennis player, so I've been playing a lot of tennis with travel teams and USTA, so.
What club do you belong to?
I just joined WAC,
Oh, Westlake. I
The
just left there.
the most nicest people in the world
I thought
I've
Sunset
ever
Hills,
met.
they were nicer there.
Who?
That's Sunset Hills.
I have no idea what that
Well,
is.
we'll see on
Maybe I'll play you, and then I'll let you know.
It's a Billie Jean King, what Bobby Riggs.
Oh, he's a name dropper. But anyway, I'm really enjoying it here. I decided to come to Keller Williams because I have a fabulous friend from high school. And it goes to show you how the world is, because after 41 years, I could not ever have imagined that Barbara and I were going to team up together. And she was instrumental in getting me to Keller Williams, because she couldn't stop saying like the nicest things about you guys. So I'm here with you guys. I'm open to open houses. I'm a hard worker. I have nothing else to do but work. I'm single, and my kids are all grown. They're not home, so all I have is my puppy and work. So I'm happy to be here. And so far, I got to tell you, from Remax to here, I have noticed what a change. You guys are fabulous. For being new agents or people new in the area, I have never experienced the warmth that you guys give people. Help, if we go to you to ask questions, you're there. If we have a problem, you're volunteering to help. I mean, that says a lot about the office, and I'm really, really proud to be part of you guys.
Welcome.
Any questions from the interrogator?
Maybe.
I have a lot more, but
Privately.
we're under a time schedule.
Okay, sounds good.
What's your USDA rank? 4.0?
3.5 and
3.5.
4.
Self-rated or?
No.
No.
Yeah, they rate it.
There we
There's
go.
trouble, Teresa. All right, so Lisa was not able to attend. Are we good? Okay, cool.
Birthdays, November. Let's see, Linda, Jennifer, Ale, Carl, Bill, Sue, Tristan, Michael, Victoria, Anna, Dylan, Christina, Lisa, Raymond. Raymond's birthday. What do you guys get to do the whole month-long thing for you, or is that?
I tried, but
He's not, what is it?
hiding.
It's a big one for him. What does that mean?
Big one. Big 7-0.
70.
Wow, look at
Basketball right now.
Is he really? Well, that'll keep him young, for sure. Gunara, Joe, Mark T, Helen, Candace, and Ethan. Wow, that's interesting, mother-daughter team there. Look at that, one day apart. I mean, mother-son team, sorry, one day apart. Yeah, fascinating. Not a lot of November birthdays either. It's a slow month.
I know, right?
Yeah.
When would that have started?
Probably you get 2 pumpkin spices per birthday instead of 1. All right, anniversaries, who's next? Let's see. Okay, wow, 1 year. Amir, Whitney, Inga, Victoria, Deborah, Eric. 2 years. Pia, Joanne, Heidi, Terry, Sue, Sean, Jennifer. 3 years. Marcia, Roberto. 4 years. Cindy, John, Jason, Michelle, Tara. 5 years. Roke, Hillary, Deborah. 6 years. Tom. 7 years. Ale, Janice. 8 years. Lisa, Robin, Tiffany, and Robert. 13 years. The Pomar family.
And they're doing well. I just talked to them. Gina's birthday was the other day.
She finished her book?
Well, she's got one done. She's working on one.
Worked on another one?
Okay, so guys, I don't know, you all know that the Mega Camp was converted to Mega Relief. And recently, Gary went ahead and did what's called a Mega Live piece. And I wanted to, I don't know if many of you listened to it, but there's some amazing segments in it. And this is one where he's kind of talking about an industry update. And he's talking about what's going on in the industry. And this makes me really excited when I listen to this. So I wanted to make sure and share it. I know it's only about 6-7 minutes long, so I know it's hard to pay attention to a video, but please pay attention. Listen to some of the things that he's bringing to the company and what he's got going on.
We learn about percent higher than the U.S. and they're on track to be at that again. So let's look at the just a quick industry update. The first one I just want to point out, back about, 17 years ago, we penned a piece called Fiduciary versus Functionary. And we actually ended up printing that in the book, The Millionaire Realtor. And we talked about this issue that in the transaction, you have the opportunity to be one of two people, either a fiduciary, a transaction expert, and a guide through the transaction, or a functionary, literally taking orders, providing a piece of service here or there, and not actually being that trusted guide. Well, the only reason that we bring this up this morning to you is because the battle today in the real estate industry is who's going to get discounted. Is it going to be the fiduciary or the functionary? And we have businesses out there today that you're aware of, and their philosophy is let's discount the fiduciary. Let's try to go get charge the seller or the buyer less money and see if we can make a profit doing that. Redfin's the most well known of that. The challenge that they have is they actually haven't made a profit in a decade doing it. Right? The quarter before they went public, they lost over $50 million. But you can thank Amazon for what's happening, because Amazon really became the poster child for being the best storytelling business in the industry, convincing Wall Street that profit was evil, and that profit actually was the wrong way to look at value. That you never need to make a profit in order to create value, as long as you get eyeballs and you're disruptive. And every month you announce new weird stuff like floating warehouses and drone deliveries and all these things, which Amazon, they just bought Whole Foods. They have no intention of putting warehouses in the sky. They do it, however, to remain that edgy, interesting organization that keeps a dialogue that says, give me money. When they bought Whole Foods, the price of Amazon went up so much that Whole Foods was free. It actually cost them no money to buy them. When Walmart announced that they were going to get into 2-day delivery and were spending billions on tech, their price went down. And they were devalued by $1 billion, a couple of billion, something like that, right? Really interesting times. And what you have to realize is the billions that are being attracted into our industry, we'll talk about it in just a second, are trying to ask the question, where can we find the discount, right? What you have to understand, whether it's in your market today or not, that we tend to we overestimate the short term and underestimate the long term. So we think, oh my gosh, the sky's falling. And then when it doesn't fall, we go, oh, it's never gonna fall. Well, that's not true. It's just, like I said, you could be losing just slow enough to think you're winning. Right? It's so gradual, and it's just so slow and minimal that you don't realize that slowly but surely your grasp on it is slipping away. And that's kind of bad.
Excuse me, sorry.
What happened?
I think it went to the lounge. Is it not on the lounge?
Is it back there?
It keeps going in and out.
In and out there?
Yeah, now it's off.
Sorry about that.
Sean, come on up and entertain us. I had a great spot with you.
It's loading.
Come on, Sean, tell us the boiling frog story.
So would you use that fiduciary functionary in a part of your listing presentation, or a piece of it?
I don't know. What he's really gonna show is what we're doing, what he's doing as a company to kind of help you be one where we're the ones making the money and we're not the ones giving up the money to give the service. But
To answer your question, yes, you'd really want to emphasize the fiduciary instead of the functionary.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
that people would understand the difference between the
right.
two.
this shouldn't be downloading because it's already
Been loaded.
yeah.
sales, but you have knock and you have offer pad and instant offers, and you have all that going on around this idea of, we'll just go in and buy direct, and you don't need a real estate agent. So you have this issue of, on this side, the fiduciaries being attacked. The reason why, and a good example of this, the reason why we went into mortgage business and we were in test markets doing it.
I have no idea.
Essentially, your only real battle opportunity is to find every savings, every economic benefit, every value benefit you can on the functionary side, and offer that up to the consumer so that the fiduciary doesn't get discounted as much as some people would like. Does that make sense? That's the battle, and you'll get to choose which way you want to go. We've made that decision. With our mortgage, our 0+, no origination fee, no closing costs, up to $1,000 in closing. You can see that we've decided that if we're going to find every opportunity to go after the functionary. Now, a lot of people scratch their head and say, how can you do this? I even saw a video on YouTube poking fun at us, this guy, and this same guy that had interviewed you and I a year or two before and called us geniuses, right? And now all of a sudden he's calling us, he's in the mortgage business, he's a loan officer. And he's calling us crazy and how can we do this and blah, blah, blah. Well, I've seen the numbers, I'm an owner in the company. I've seen all of that, and actually it's very real, it's very doable. It requires scale to make a profit, which means very few people can make that offer. But we track this, and we're already well over $1 million in saving consumer money that might have been taken out of the real estate agent's pocket, was instead taken out of the mortgage industry's pocket. Does that make sense? Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. That's the battle that's going on. Right? We just talked about the innocent buyers.
So that's 38.
Okay.
38 minutes, yep.
Wasn't that a little bit longer?
Is that 38 or 36?
It's 36:40.
Oh, sorry, I'm bored.
That's a whole nother
I thought
game
that's
being
a
played.
38.
It's going to be played out. I think that a lot of people are overly concerned about this because it looks like jeepers, if they could get the discount down to 8% or so, that could they just become the market? Well, the problem is there isn't enough capital in the capital markets to finance all of that. And so I just don't think that's going to happen. We just don't know where that goes yet, but it's not going to be the market. I'm pretty certain of that. Right? FSBO sales, well, the only reason we bring this up is simply to point out to you that at this point in time, the last study that was done, the FSBO sell on average for a 5.5% discount.
We're going to stick that in your FSBO packet, and you can ask your FSBO if they're happy, losing 5.5% to save 3%.
Yeah, this wasn't commissioned by the real estate industry. This was handed to the real estate industry by a study done by another firm, right? All right, so let's jump to technology and we'll move on.
All right, can you get the lights, Terry? Okay, so what did you guys hear or take away from that? Anything? Terry?
It's very important that we show value.
Very important we show value. Good. Jay?
You can't just push paper.
Isn't that the truth? Kind of what Terry's saying. What else did you guys hear? Dave?
I'm stuck in the pauses.
What I took away from it, and I listened to this whole segment, it's 6 hours, and I've listened to it over and over again, and guys, there'll be people who will say things about the size of company you belong to, whether you're a small company or a big company, and Gary says it over and over through this presentation, that we're big enough, this company is big enough to make a difference for you, and that's what they're committed to doing. And I know that right now, Marcia Snyder brought it to me and asked me questions, and I called an OP friend of mine that I know, that lending thing is being tested right now, right? They're talking lending, they're talking title. Okay, y'all know my boyfriend's in title, Now, this scares the heck out of them. They're already talking about it because they know that Keller Williams is big enough to have this all facilitated. So when you think about the size of company you belong to, you gotta thank God that you're with a big company that's working for you to keep that money in your pocket. He says it over and over and over again through this presentation. He's keeping money in your pocket and looking for discounts somewhere else. So, like I said, they are testing that. It's good. They have all kinds of different divisions they're working on, and they're testing it, and they're going to be rolling this stuff out that you'd be able to. Those services will be available to your clients and be give the discount to the client, and you guys keep more money in your pocket. Sean.
And this is not a new thing, right? I mean, how long has Keller Williams, as far as the market center is concerned, focused on the wall of value?
Forever, right? As far as I know, there's all, ever since I've been a team leader, there's always been a wall of value, but now the wall of value looks a little bit different, and there's more things added to it, so.
But it's the same thing in our business, is my point. It's like, and that's why we've grown to the size that we are.
Exactly. Sean, that's a great point, because that's what they're bringing a value to us. It's just you guys, if you're not connected, you don't know it. And that's what's so important with this company, to be connected, so you really truly understand what's happening for you. Mark, did you?
Yeah, I mean, last week I was at FSO for the franchise. Okay, so last week I was at FSO, which is a franchise systems operating system, teaching you all the models of an office and everything else. And what's so great about that program is it's exactly like running a team. I mean, the same thing that a market center does is what a team does. And because I was there, they happened to have the RD meeting, and so I got invited to sit in on that, and they were really talking about this. Now, one of the things that they did announce was that, and it's still not public, but Keller Williams in August was #1 for volume, and last month for September, we were #1 with units over RE/MAX. And RE/MAX is changing their signs now, where they said, we sell the most, now saying we had the most experience. And so they won't make any announcements probably until January, because right now when you're neck and neck with each other, you know that 1 month they could be ahead and it could switch. So right now they're being very quiet about it. And they know now that we are the largest real estate company in agents, volume, and units, everyone's gonna be coming after us. I mean, we are no longer the quiet, sleepy company, and everyone is afraid of us, and they're gonna be coming with different things. And so, like John Davis said, my job right now has gotten twice as tough, and we're up for the challenge. We are gonna do things to make you guys better, stronger, and everything else. They also did address technology and what's coming out, and they said, look, we're not gonna tell you anymore it's gonna be out by this date. Unfortunately, the challenge we've had in the past is we were buying software from other companies, and then we were dependent on them, and then this piece didn't mix with this piece, and it was a problem. We are creating a software for ourselves that will be the state of the art in the industry that you guys will have. They're beta testing it all right now, and when it's ready, they will start to introduce it to us. They don't want to roll it out.
I'm gonna show a video on that so we can get the bugs worked out.
Right, but they don't want to do like they've done in the past. Oh, it doesn't quite work. They want to make sure it really does work, and it's going to have artificial intelligence in it. I mean, we're having our Kelly Cloud, so you can, instead of asking Siri a question, anything you want to ask, you just ask Kelly, and she'll be able to tell you where to go and what to do, where to find the videos. And they're really coming up with some great stuff. They're working with Facebook directly so that we can advertise on Facebook, because they see Facebook is the future of where we're going. And they want to make sure we have the best system, so they're testing programs for that. So we'll all be coming here very quickly. Probably a lot of it will start to roll out in the first quarter, but they will make sure that it is right. And they are all working really hard to make sure our agents, the Keller Williams agents, we have the best tools possible. So, any questions on that?
Okay, so anything else on the industry update piece? Do you guys have any questions on what Gary's working on doing and what he's going to be rolling out as he continues? Like I said, right now the lending piece is being tested in California, across the nation, but it's also being tested in California. So it seems to be working really well, and it's like a 0+ loan, and there's money going back to the client up to $1,000. Tony.
I was wondering, that last thing that they talked about, the discount in price that FSBOs are facing.
Yes,
I think it would be fantastic if they accumulate that same information about all the discount agencies. Wouldn't it be terrific if we were to find out that the Redfins, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, are selling those properties at some percentage discounted compared to fiduciary agents? Because it should be the exact same logic as FSBOs, right? We tell FSBOs, when a buyer comes to buy from you, isn't that buyer going to expect a discount, right? I would expect that if you go into a Redfin listing as a buyer, that you're making the same claim to them.
yeah. And we've already talked about that in some other team meetings where there's been experiences, Rex. Rex, they say they cooperate with buyer's agents, but they don't. They don't pay them. So what are they cooperating with? That's the most ridiculous statement ever. So that's kind of actually, I think it's deceiving and it's a trick. They have Rex, you want to hear how bad it is? Rex has people who are showing partners that aren't even licensed that are going out and showing properties. I just talked to a girl yesterday and I said, oh, interesting, I didn't know that that's what was happening. And she looked at me and I said, don't worry, I won't tell anyone. But the reality is that's bad. That's bad. I mean, guys, but this is where we talk about value and what you've got to know, what you're bringing to the table, right? Because you're not going to allow that kind of stuff to happen. You guys are going to represent your client at a higher level, so you need to know all this stuff and you need to be prepared now. So anyhow, I just wanted you to know that. I'll be bringing some other clips from that Mega Live.
Doug? I just wondering if you could send us that link again for that,
Sure.
Mega Live?
Yeah.
It's all on
It's on
KW Connect.
Connect.
Yes,
all recorded.
I know, I get it, it's not, I don't know if everybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we can just send out the whole Mega Live piece of it. It's like 6 hours.
Yeah.
They have panels, they have everything on there. But I like Gary's part of it best for myself right now. All right, Terry, KW Cares update.
Before I talk about that, I want to make sure that you have on December 14th on your calendar, Terry and I have worked very hard to get Michael Mayer. Michael Mayer is the supreme person for showing value to your clients. And Terry and I have known him for a long time. He's a Keller Williams agent. He wrote the book, The 7 Levels of Communication. And so we have him coming. So please, you know, I think we already have the flyer out there, and we were able to get him so it's not going to cost you anything. And so really, I mean, we have to show value. And so that's why we really wanted to have Michael come along. But anyway, I want to tell you about KW Cares. So all of you know that there have been so many things. When we first started, you know, it was Harvey, then it was Irma, you know, then Puerto Rico, and we do have a market center in Puerto Rico, but now it's all the fires that are happening that happened up in Northern California, especially in the Santa Rosa area. And there are many, many, many Keller Williams agents up there that have been affected. There's over 5,000 houses, you know, that have been lost. 40 people lost their lives, and there's still people that they haven't found. And so, you know, I mean, we can talk about real estate, we can talk about all of these things, but when it really comes down to it, I mean, we have, you know, these kind of things to face too. And, you know, God forbid anything ever happens with an earthquake down here. And so what's happening with KW Cares, which is a very strong foundation, it's being taxed. You know, it's being taxed because of all the different things. And I wanted to make sure that you guys understood that KW Cares is one of the few charities that I know that has no fees. So everybody has fees of some kind. There's a board, there's, you know, whether it's the Red Cross or whatever. But when Gary Keller and Mo Anderson started KW Cares, they wanted to make sure that 100% would go to our agents. Because this money goes to our agents and their families, you know, have been affected by whether it's this or whether it's a personal situation with cancer or whatever. And so we can be sure that all that money goes. And you know, so far we've raised about $16,000. Now Gary Keller and Mo is asking that all of us make an effort to give $50 for each transaction for the next 3 transactions. And he's asking if that we would pledge that. And that if that is something that you don't want to do for some reason, then you need to tell us. But I'd really love to have all of you not opt out of this, but for the next 3 transactions, so that we can replenish this fund that's really being taxed like never before. And so, if there's some reason that you don't wanna do this, then you can go see Byron. Otherwise, what will happen is that the next 3 transactions, so that we can put as much money as we can. And if you wanna make additional contributions, we're still taking them here for, with Brianna, so I'd really love to have that. And I continue, I just sent out my Thanksgiving letter to my clients, and I reminded them about the things that have been happening and now in California. And I asked them if they would please give me a donation. So now I'm starting to collect more donations from my clients. And my clients are writing to me and telling me that, you know, they love the fact that besides being a very successful, long-term, 35-year agent, that I care so much for other people. So I suggested it might be something that you can do too. So, do you have a question?
Yeah, I just want to say.
Yeah.
It was also, as part of that RD meeting, they had the offices, or the region for Houston, and they said, one of the things you gotta realize is, they lost 125 escrows the day of the flood. And those houses are completely destroyed. Agents were about to get paid and didn't get anything. And now, all the other houses in escrow, you can't close because you can't get insurance yet, and they all have to be re-inspected. So just imagine if everything that you had in escrow, half of it disappeared, and you couldn't sell because the houses were destroyed, and then the rest of the houses you couldn't close because you couldn't get insurance, you're waiting for inspections. The lag time on all that is absolutely incredible, and there was 45 agents that lost their houses and so forth. And so when you really start to think about it, it really is a small thing. And then Mo said, I wasn't gonna speak, and then she jumped up, banged the table and said, look, when I was running the company during Katrina, we had 50,000 agents and we raised $5 million. Now it's twice as bad. There's, with all these areas that need something, and with inflation, we're asking for a minimum of $121 per agent, and we need to raise $20 million now. We've got to make this happen. There's so many people that are really hurting, and like Terry said, $50 is so little. Thank God we're in a position that we still have houses here to sell. We're not put on hold, so I think we really do all need to step up, because we are so fortunate to sell homes in a very high-priced area, and that we have plenty of homes, even in this tight inventory, plenty of homes to sell.
Yeah, thank you very much for that. And in Santa Rosa, 5% of all the homes that are available to sell are gone now. You know, and so when you start thinking about that and think about what would happen here. But Joanne?
I was wondering, maybe we could have a marketing piece made so it all looks uniform, saying I'm donating my, a percentage of my next 3 transactions to explain it, so we're not creating bad information, and it's something that we can add our own headshot to and use for our social media and email purposes.
Yes, definitely. We'll do that today.
Because I'd love to advertise that, but I think if it all looks uniform, it'll look pretty awesome.
Okay, we'll do that today. Yeah, that was really good.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Jim. Good, great suggestion, thanks, Jim.
Do we have time?
I would have thought that if I wasn't thinking too many other things.
Right.
Thank you, I needed you to bring that up.
I'm always marketing.
Yeah, this is where we need a whole bunch of people to remind us of the things. Oh, that's a great idea. So let's go ahead and pass that since we're getting late already, and let's go to gratitude moments. Gratitude moments. Anyone has anything they want to shout out? Barbara. This is Teresa's good friend from high school. I didn't realize you guys went to high school together.
Yeah, we did. I'm not going to tell you that you graduated, though. I just wanted to say thank you so much to an individual that we have in our office. He has been so helpful and so informative when it comes to questions that I have. And I am a newbie in real estate, and I just wanted to say thank you, because every time I've asked him a question, whether it's about signs or it's about something with real estate, he's always so, like, with a smile on his face. It's the way he delivers it that makes it even more special. And that person is Mark Markovitz. Thank you so much.
Anyone else?
Good morning, everyone. I've got a few of them, so I'll try to make this quick. Last week the phone rang. I had a new client call me on a referral, And the guy's been renting forever and was finally gonna purchase. So I called Judy Hoffman in the morning and said, because I was gonna be doing a buyer's presentation, and I said, hey, because she had just recently given us some information about the buying versus renting flyer and that sort of a thing. By the afternoon, I had the flyer, was able to put it in my presentation that evening, and it helped work great. But then I come to find out that this guy, during the presentation, had only 3 weeks to go before he needed to be out of the current place that he was living in. So I can't get you a house in 3 weeks. So I threw out a quick, I don't know if you guys saw it, it was within the intranet asking for a bridge kind of rental situation so I could get this guy some short-term housing before we were going out and purchasing something. And our own Terry Morler, within the hour, had emailed me and said, what you got going on? So I explained the situation to her. She had a property that was just coming available, and she was willing to rent it out to my client for a short-term rental period. So I just wanted to say thank you so much for that. It was great. The best part of that story is that the guy didn't end up using Terry's house. I wish he would have. He went for another rental a little bit longer period of time. But I got back to Terry to say thank you so much, and what she said in her email to me was, well, I really wasn't doing it so much for your client because we really didn't have a really intention of doing a short-term situation. She said I was doing it to help you. So I just want to say thanks, Terry. It's great being in business with you. And the last thing is, I don't know who came up with the idea of putting the meetings, the classes, everything online. I use that. I think it's great because driving all the way from Moore Park all the time, so it's not convenient to come to the market center. So it's great to just be able to go onto Facebook and see everything online and not miss out on any classes. So I don't know if it's the tech committee who made that decision, but on behalf of myself, and I know the other agents that I see that use it, thank you very much.
You're welcome. Anyone else? All right, let's go ahead and move on to our classes or what we have going on. Okay, great.
Good morning, everyone. Just a quick recap on classes this week. Wednesday, today is Caravan and Productive Conversations. And then tomorrow we have 2 sessions of 5 street training. You're not supposed to go to both. You can go to one or the other, just to clarify.
Unless you're slow.
And then we have Green Sheets with Jess at 2. On Monday, we have our new CGI series. I think that's Facebook or social media.
I think it's on taking listings, isn't that?
Yeah,
That's
listings to last.
Listings to last. Yeah, it's a great, great series.
And then after we have Profit Share with Terry and Contracts with Gay. And then on Tuesday we have Bold and then the California Realty Training, the first class for that module. And that's about it. Thank you.
All right, great. Thank you so much. Let's go ahead and do pitches, new listings.
Actually, I have a quick
Oh, wait,
sorry.
Mark? Yeah, what?
Not this Wednesday, a week from Wednesday, I'm gonna be teaching a basic class on agent financials. So really, especially in this tighter environment where some people aren't making quite as much, controlling your expenses and knowing the relationship between your expenses and your income and how to put more in your pocket. We'll be teaching a whole class on that. We're gonna be doing it twice. One for a more basic class for people getting started, and then we will have a second class that will be for people who are capping and what that looks like and what your revenue should be, what your expenses should be, and so forth. So I have to change that date with you for the second class. So we'll be letting you know the second class, but the first one will be 2 o'clock next Wednesday.
Awesome. And Deb has something. Sure.
Just a couple of announcements. You people who are members of Conejo-Simi Moore Park Association, if you have not yet signed up for a committee, today is the deadline. We would like you to sign up. It's a good way to meet other agents. It's a good way to recruit agents to your profit share tree. So get involved. If you received the scoop yesterday, there was a link for the application. It has a description of each committee, who the chairperson is. So go ahead and sign up for that. Many of the committees are year-long. We have a couple that are just a task force that are short-term, like the Scholarship Committee and the Toy Drive. In fact, this Friday is the kickoff for the Toy Drive. I have to go to the board after I leave here and get my picture taken because I'll be in Chicago and can't be there Friday for the kickoff. So it's that time of the year again. If you're interested in helping out with that, get the box to all the offices. and then sort the toys by age group when they're, collected and ready for donating. So any of you people with young kids who get toys and understand which is appropriate for which age group, volunteer for that. I'm too old, so anyway, thank you.
Thanks so much, Deb. Okay, so, pitches, new listings, anything going on out there you guys wanna promote? Come on up. You Sean? No, there's more coming, they're just coming behind you.
How's it going, everyone? Sean Jones here. I have a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom condo coming on in Sherman Oaks. It's a good size, it's 1,200 square feet. It's a corner unit, so you only share one wall, and it is prime location of south of the 101, so it's right in the heart of Sherman Oaks. So if you have anyone, I believe we're gonna list it at $460.
Awesome. Okay, Gina?
Yeah. Thanks. 2 new listings, one in Newbury Park, which I have a personal interest in, full disclosure. That one's a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, heart of the cul-de-sac location, large lot. And that one I listed for $639. And then also I have a bit of a fixer in Chatsworth, if you have anyone in the valley. 3-bedroom hillside location, close to the freeway. Probably better for a contractor or an investor. That's it.
What's the address?
Here we go. I'll give it to you.
Okay, thank you.
It's low key low.
That's Gina Allen, if anyone has any questions. Okay, thank you.
Hi guys, I have a pocket listing out in Porter Ranch, a few doors down from the listing that I had that just closed yesterday. So this one is bigger at 1,896 square feet, 4-bed, 2.5 bath, great location, and it is seller wants anything above $650 price point, open to any offers, but it does need some work. All fixed up, I think the value is about $750 or so. So great opportunity for folks, buyers who are willing to put in sweat equity in there. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else, Dave? Yeah. No? Anyone else? Okay, guys, thanks so much for being here, and the caravan sheets are out there somewhere. All right.
Joel, how's it going? Good.